Okay, so this is the back sheet for today's practice, and it says that we're going to build, that means write, quadratics from the roots. So these are your roots already. That means when you graph, this is going through 2 and 5. Well, let's say this was -3 and 2. So these are the roots. So right here, they're giving you the roots, and they want you to write an equation. So we've done this before, okay? So we're going to go ahead and practice. I'm going to practice maybe 3 of them with you. Let's go ahead and start with problem number 1. Problem number 1, they said that x equals 2 and x equals 5. So you're going to have to write your work on another sheet of paper. I don't think it will all fit in here. All I want next to the roots is the equation. So show your work somewhere else. So if your solutions are 2 and 5, then that means x equals 2 is a root, and x equals 5 is the other root. So what we need to do is we need to make them into factors. So that means we have to move this over, and I have to move this over. Okay? When you move it over, you're supposed to change the sign, because in order to get rid of it, you have to do the opposite. So this is a positive 2, you would subtract 2. Subtract 2 from both sides. So that's why it changes the sign, so it becomes x minus 2 equals 0. This is one of your factors. For this one, when you move it over, it becomes a minus 5. So x minus 5 is another one of your factors. Okay, now the question was not asking for factors, it was asking for the quadratic equation. So you need to take those two factors and multiply them. X minus 2 times x minus 5, and that would give you the quadratic equation. So remember how to multiply. You make the table. So you have x minus 2 times x minus 5, and you multiply them. X times x is x squared. X times -5 is -5x. X times -2 is a -2x. And -2 times -5 is a +10. Combine the diagonals. -2 plus -5, or -2 minus 5, same thing, is -7. So when you multiply these two, your answer is x squared minus 7x plus 10. And that is the answer that you put next to the roots in your equation. So right here, next to this one, you would say that the equation is x squared minus 7x plus 10. Again, I'm going to do 2 more with you, but whatever you don't finish in class today is homework. You have the whole weekend to do this. If you don't bring me the homework on Monday, we're going to be calling your parents. Okay? Let's try one with fractions, because I know you guys hate fractions, even though it's not that hard. Let's do problem number 11. Problem number 11 says that the roots are 3/4 and 1/4. So root x equals 3/4, and the other root x equals 1/4. So we need to move this over, but it's a fraction, so I have to get rid of the denominator first. Remember, if there's a number at the bottom, the first thing you do is multiply by that number. So whatever you do to this side, you have to do to this side. So multiply by 4. For what? So these two can go away. They'll cancel. So 4 times x is 4x equals, you have 3 left over, And now you can move the 3 over and change the sign. So we've done this already a while back. So change the sign, make it a minus 3, so your factor is 4x minus 3 equals 0. That's one of your factors. The other factor on this side, you're going to do the same thing. So get rid of the denominator. So multiply by that number on both sides so that it can cancel. 4 times x is 4x, and you're left with a 1. Now we move the 1 over, change the sign, and it becomes minus 1. So my other factor is 4x minus 1. And now we need to multiply them to get the equation. So I have 4x minus 3 times 4x minus 1. And we're going to multiply those using the box. Four x times 4x is 16x squared. 4 times 4 is 16, x times x is x squared. 4x times negative 1 is a minus 4x. 4x times negative 3 is a negative 12x. And negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive 3. Combine the middle ones. Negative 12 plus a negative 4, or negative 12 minus 4 is a negative 16. So my answer, my quadratic equation for this one is 16x squared minus 16x plus 3. And you put that next to number 11. 16x squared minus 16x plus 3. Okay? I'm going to do one more, but I'm not going to finish it with you. So I just want to make sure that you understand how to do those type of problems. If you see one that says this sign, okay? That means it could be a positive 5 and it can be a negative 5. So number 21, one is a positive 5 and one is a negative 5. So one of the roots is a positive 5, the other root is a negative 5. Again, it was written plus or minus, oops. It was written as plus or minus, my pen's not working, hold on. I have this sign, that means one's plus, one's minus 5. That means one of my roots is a positive 5, one of my roots is a negative 5. So that should be easy. When you move this over, it becomes a minus. So my factor is x minus 5 equals 0. And this one, when you move it over, it becomes a positive 5. So x plus 5 is my other factor. So all you guys have to do now is multiply them using the box to get the quadratic equation for those roots. So x minus 5 times x plus 5, and you guys finish it off. The whole back sheet needs to be done by Monday. No cheating. I'm going to be asking questions, so make sure that you know what you're doing.